You
No,
need to go to counseling.
I was angry. I was like jealous and angry by looking at a picture. And so I couldn't be happy. Even though we just had a kid. I was like, oh no, this ain't right. And I wept. And so whatever, man. I be crying, man. I hate growing up, man. I mean, like when you were a kid, you cried because you hurt your knee or you got a spanking or you got in trouble. You didn't cry because the inside hurt. My insides are just falling all apart, man.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Beleaf Mel.
And we're here with episode 67 of How Married Are You? I messed it up.
I know. Let me just...
Okay, I'll let you do it.
My name Beleaf. This is Yvette, and we've been married 9 years. We live in California, and we have 4 kids. Relationships are scary. It's very necessary that we share our love, our struggles, and we ask,
how married are you?
Every Tuesday and Thursday, shoddy. If you listen, then you're in the wedding party. Okay, we're gonna talk about the stages. Don't get married if the family is Asian. I'm still rapping. It's a freestyle.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
We're gonna do it like this. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I didn't get to say it's Chocolate Baby story time.
I'm sorry. Is that your favorite part?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's the only part I get to really participate in.
Oh, you want to do it again?
No, I'm done.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. All right, and we are here.
Chocolate Baby story time. Hello.
Oh, it's Chocolate Baby.
Anaya. So I left my lunch at home today, and the nanny K Howe. Shout out to K Howe. She brought my lunch to the office, and she had Anaya with her, and Anaya was coming in, and she saw me, and ran across the street. Dad. And I was like, nice. Like, don't run in the street, but it's a parking lot. But I just embraced her. And so she was like, you office? We in your office? And can I go see you? And she just was talking to me. So I let her walk around the office a little bit and look at stuff. And then it's probably like 5 minutes. And then I was like, okay, baby, you're going to go to the park with Kay Howe. She was like, okay. And just burst into tears so hard it was so sad. And I was like, this girl really loves me.
She does.
It's crazy, and I really wanted to leave work, but had to get that video out.
Good one. Okay. So today, I guess we just had some emotional children, but so the kids and I have been working on sight words, and today I did a drill where I was like, okay, we've learned these sight words this week. I really want to see like how you guys are doing with them. Do you know them or whatever? Like, can you spell them? Can you whatever? And so we did a lot of variations to kind of check for understanding. And then I did one where it was like, in 10 seconds, like I set the timer on my phone for 10 seconds. And it was like, I put down the cards really fast for them to read. And I was like, you have to read all of these in 10 seconds. That lets me know that you really know these sight words when you see them. And so Theo goes first and I do it, and Theo, he has like maybe 4 seconds to spare. He did it in like 6 seconds.
Wow.
I get to Uriah Bow. And the whole thing is like, don't look at the timer, just look at the cards. But Raya was like, he was doing it, but then he would look at the timer and see the little circle closing in on him. And it was like, he just kind of like froze.
Did he freak out and cry?
He freaked out. He didn't like completely freak out, but he got super emotional. And I felt really bad because I was like, man, this is probably not a good way for me to check for his understanding.
Yeah.
Because he knows it. It's just, he's a little too competitive, and
he wants
all
to be
the
as good as his brother, faster than his brother,
which just kind of goes into further about like how hard, like the challenge it is of schooling them together, because they both operate in different ways. And I don't know, it's a lot, but I just felt really bad because I felt like I crushed Raya Bo's spirit. But Raya is actually really showing himself to be super smart kid. He's definitely, like, you say that he's a lot like me or I'm like him or whatever, but he's got your smarts.
No, he does not. He's smarter than me, for sure.
Well, you both have a high smart altitude.
We have a...
Is that a word?
I think I'm more like... I think more mentally I'm more like Theo. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like, because like I don't like busy work. I just want to do what I want to do. I want to do what I'm interested in, and like, thank God that what I want to do is like I can get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm way like Raya is like, and not to say Theo isn't smart, but Raya has like a genius to him. It's very interesting. Where Theo is a very lazy thinker.
Yeah, that's so interesting you say that, because today, at one point I was like, okay, you guys, we can take a break. Theo left. Theo went straight to his room and was like gone. And I set the timer for like the break. Raya was like, well, can I still work? And he like worked through the break.
Yeah, he's interested in a lot of those different things, you know.
Yeah.
But Theo is very much just looking for approval and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, sure. All right. Okay, guys. So we have an update. Do you remember our episode is sexting cheating?
Yeah.
Well, the person who wrote in, mind you, we replied to that email like what, 2 months later?
Yeah.
After it was sent, which is really bad. I'm so sorry. We're trying to do better, guys. We're trying to do better. Anyway, she replied, and I just wanted to kind of read her email reply to you guys to kind of give you an update, because it's kind of fun to have updates from the people who, who we get to share our opinions or thoughts on.
Yeah, so this is episode 63 she was in. So if you haven't listened to episode 63, just go back and check that out just to see what we're talking about. And then here's the update.
Happy New Year. As soon as I opened my YouTube tonight, I saw the title of the latest episode and was shook. I honestly skipped through everything to get to my email and watched it with my husband. He didn't even know I sent the email, and I honestly had forgotten about it. It really touched me that the first reaction was to pray. Thank you, Beleaf. Just to update you both, we are in a much better place. After being separated for nearly 40 days while he met with our pastor, read text books, and worked to prove to me that he was dedicated to true repentance, we are still together and choosing each other every day.
That's amazing.
Yes. Lord, it's been hard, but we actually did what was suggested, him being deep with me. It was an important part of healing for me, although it was hard to stomach at times. A part of his lust issues have been his own insecurities from childhood and needing to feel wanted. I have taken responsibility for the part I played in feeding those insecurities, and we have taken the time to truly get to know each other again. We had to relearn each other's love language. We are finally able to be extremely transparent with each other without getting in our feelings. Our friendship is better, our marriage is better, and our relationship with God is better. It was worth it. Thank you both for all that you do to keep good conversations going about marriage. We appreciate you both. Hope to see you in Atlanta.
Hey.
We actually will be in Atlanta.
Yeah, we're going to the Love Hour conference.
But that's not till July, so.
Yeah. But
but we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be there. Let's kick it when we get there.
We should do a meetup.
Yeah, we should. I just want to see what the thing looks like. Okay, and continue. That is so awesome to get those type of updates, because I was like really like feeling like, oh my goodness, this is deep. And I'm glad that it was more than like, I'm glad that they did the work. And honestly, that's a really quick turnaround.
Yeah.
You know, from October to like January, and then like for him to do that major work. So big shout out to the husband and the wife for, you know, getting down and dirty and doing the hard stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah. I'm proud of you guys. Keep up with the good work.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're going to get right into our next email. Hi, Beleaf and Mrs. Melanin. I hope you get the chance to reply. Please bear with me as my English is not my first language. But because I'm a part of a bridal party and I look up to you guys as one of my role models, I wanted to know your opinion on this. So me and my fiance are engaged since February 14th, 2019. Aw, a Valentine's Day proposal.
Yeah.
We first agree that we will get married in 2021 because it will give us more time to save up for the wedding. And also next year, 2020, we are planning on buying a new car and we are in the process of buying a house. But my grandmother, who is 95, lives abroad, where we will be getting married, asked me if we can get married ASAP because she is getting old and having some health issues, and one of her biggest dreams, and also mine, is seeing me get married. My fiance, on the other hand, says he understands that the situation going on with my grandmother, but it is best for us to get married in the year that we plan due to financials. So I asked my mom for advice, and she says pray and fast about it and ask God to see if he will change the heart of my fiance. I do understand both sides, but I feel like I'm in the middle and do not want it to be an argument between me and my fiance. So I like to know on your podcast, what's your intake on this? Since you guys said in the previous seasons of the podcast about Yvette's parents had opinions, etc., on certain things in the past. Yeah.
We tried to answer this already the other night, but we were so sleepy. Like, we were like 15 minutes like, man, maybe you should listen to your mama and them. Maybe.
We did. We are, I guess when you listen to this podcast, we are out of town. And so we're trying to record ahead of time so that we don't miss more weeks. I'm trying to do different in 2020.
I see you, babe.
Anywho, yeah, so we tried and we failed. And so we said, let's just go to sleep and come back. Mm-hmm. And so here we are. And yeah, so I don't know, man. This one's kind of rough because I feel like for me, like my whole perspective on weddings is different anyway now, because I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like they don't have to be so big and.
But you can't tell someone who's about to get married for the first time that.
I know.
That's something you know after you been married. It's it's so much more to life than a wedding.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a wedding. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This person's probably been wanting to get married their whole life. And
so my question too is are they trying to get the financials right? Like she called it financials. That's why I'm calling it financials. But are they trying to get their finances right for the actual wedding? Or does the fiance need to feel like he's going to be able to provide after the wedding? You know what I'm saying? Because those are two different things. It's like if he's struggling, if they're trying to afford the wedding, then I would say just get married. But if he's concerned that he's not going to be able to take care of him and her come the time that they're husband and wife, then I do think that maybe they should consider, waiting.
Yeah.
So I think that's my opinion.
And I think too, like people are important. You want to get a car, you want to get a house, and that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But you could it doesn't have to look like how you have it in your mind. You know, that was one of the Yvette's things when she was I want, by the time I'm 30, I want to have my first house and I want to have this. And you know what I'm saying? It's why?
Yeah.
Who's telling you that, I could tell you this, man. My grandfather passed away in October and I went to go see him and he asked me where the family was. And I didn't think to bring the family. I was like, this is preposterous. I can't afford the family. And I literally left. I found out he was dying and I left the same day. Mm-hmm. And so, man, if I could go back in time, I would have ran up the bill to bring the family, bring the kids and bring Yvette, because he died and he never met, some of my kids, and they never seen him. And it kind of made me it sent me through a little bit of a depression, because I was like, man, I'm trying so hard to work, but I need to be able to afford stuff like this. I can't allow this type of thing to happen again. I need to be able to, if I need to go and see my somebody who's passing away, I'm bringing a family. That's it. And I don't want money to tell me I can't do that. So that type of honor shows the type of person that you are. It's defining, God forbid, something happens to your grandmother and 2021 comes around and you're sitting there you mother, you know what I'm saying? Upset and bitter. And so I think this is something that you guys will argue about. And if it's worth fighting for, I think you should fight for it. I don't think you should. I know sometimes, men, we have everything in order and we want things to go a certain way because of how we feel in our control. But sometimes it's just not the move.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you feel like we answered her question?
I mean, I don't feel like we can.
Yeah.
But we can just give you our perspective. So, yeah.
I guess it's just a matter of how much you want to honor your grandmother in that way.
Yeah, I think it's worth it to do it early and just knock it out. You know what I mean? And do something else later if you want to. That's more grandiose.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. This next one is a voicemail that I wanted to address.
Oh, no. I'm going to go on mute.
So we got this voicemail from this woman, and she was super sweet as far as like trying to make sure that she wasn't coming at me. But she brought up something, and I was like, I feel like we need to follow it up. I feel like we need to, as a couple, address it and not just me, because since then, like, you've even kind of had some issues. And so you'll see. Just wait.
Okay.
I guess my message was too long, so I'm going to try to make this short. The second thing that I noticed that I wanted to comment on from the podcast was when Mrs. Millen was talking about how she feels like she's not living life or enjoying life, and she's just basically existing and just doing what she needs to do in order to get through each day. And I could not help but think about, and please know that this comes very, it's not coming from a negative perspective at all. What came to my mind as you were talking, Ms. Melanie, was when your husband wanted to get a vasectomy after your fourth baby, and you put a stop into that process because you're not sure if you want to have another child. But I felt it was selfish to go that route with your husband. I felt it was very selfish, actually, to go that route with your husband, because you have been able to have 4. I mean, you're so blessed. We both are so blessed. You have 4 beautiful children. Oh my gosh, your family's absolutely beautiful and such a good proof, not example, like a good proof of how you can do family, even through challenges, through good, through bad experience, through everything. You can still do a good family, a black family. And adding more children, let's be real, adds to that contentment that we're adding in life, or that we're missing in life. They either subtract or add, depending on who you're talking to. So having 4 children is a lot. I don't have 4. I do have children, but I can just imagine what you're going through, and it's a lot. And if your husband is working a lot and you feel like you're on your own for a big portion of the day, it can feel overwhelming, and it can feel like you're not living life to the fullest. That is understandable. So I was very confused to hear you talk on the podcast, but at the same time think, but she wants another child, though. What does she think this is going to do to that pursuit of wanting to live life? It's only going to extend the time to get to that goal that you have in your mind, this perception that you have, or maybe not perception, but...
Okay. So were you triggered?
I was triggered.
Okay.
Because...
If you triggered, I'm triggered.
Are you triggered? You not triggered by that at all?
I don't understand. But go ahead.
Well, the thing is, she's like, not only were you selfish, but you were very selfish.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, okay. you really want to get a vasectomy. We probably have no business having any more children. However, I think I did a good thing, like in preventing it from happening, because even since then, you have said things like, I look at these kids and I feel like someone's missing. Mm-hmm. Like you've said that, and I'm putting you on blast. Y'all, he said it. And so it's like, if you are having thoughts like that, or if you are having dreams or whatever, then you don't have any business having a vasectomy. Right?
I mean, it's a difference. So like now, so literally we switch roles. So you have been like, get a vasectomy now, hurry up, go now. I don't want to do this. I don't like this life.
No, I don't like this life.
No, I mean, okay, you didn't say that.
I'm basically really scared to have another kid.
Yeah.
To add another kid.
And so like we just basically switch roles. But it's just a double standard.
It's a double standard.
Yeah. And it's a double standard in this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like when we talked about it, like if a man doesn't want to have a kid, he's looked at like, how dare you rob this woman of the blessing that God has given her to bear children? 4, 5, 6, 7, it doesn't matter. God is giving. If she wants more kids, you have more kids. You know what I'm saying? But if a woman doesn't, why would you put your wife through that? She doesn't want to have any kids. You are selfish. It's just a double standard. So I think she was kind of just pointing out that, thing. And I don't think you were selfish, but it's just, we just hear each other differently. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So if I say, man, I do not want to go to this party. It's going to make me feel sick. I do not want to be around those people. I just do not want to go. You'll be like, are you ready or what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if you're like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, cool, well, we ain't going.
Because you don't want to go.
Yeah. But even if
different.
you did want to go somewhere, if you didn't want to go somewhere, I wouldn't force you to go. We hear each other differently. I think men, this is a generalization, and I don't know if it's true. And one, like, I mean, like what this woman said, like, I understand she's like just giving her perspective and trying to communicate with you. I'm not fazed by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether she thinks you're selfish or not, that's really none of our business. You know what I'm saying? That's her perspective. We invite people on here to say that type of stuff, but, we don't have to listen to that.
The reason I brought it up is because I feel like there's a lingering thing out there with more than just her as our listener. Like,
about us having another baby?
Yeah, just about the vasectomy. Like, where are we at with that? Like,
yeah, well, we haven't gotten a vasectomy yet.
Yeah.
So I have, I've been having a hard time. You know what I'm saying? I recently watched, I saw some photos of a friend of ours giving birth, and the husband got to be there. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I wasn't there before, but I was so much looking forward to being there. And I literally like cried for like 20 minutes. And I was not expecting to cry. Like, I was not expecting to care, And so that was kind of like, oh no, it's not over. Like, at least not the kid part. Like, I don't believe that I have enough time for another child, but that don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think sometimes we base decisions on our like circumstance instead of on like our legacy or like the future. And, we could be 20 years from now, are we going to be, having a get together or thinking like, dang, man, I'm sure that I don't think we're going to be like, sure, glad we didn't have any more kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I don't want to do anything that is like out of haste or just out of like frivolousness or like,
yes. I like the word frivolous.
Yeah, because like it's not that we're not being careful or anything like that. It's just that I'm not okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I need counseling. Like if I need, like I have a lot of issues, right? They're all very blaring. Like basically I feel like I have a cabinet, right? And I open up the cabinet, I'm like, okay, which one of these?
Close that one.
Nah, it's just like, which one of these things is going to fall off the shelf today? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, can of worms. You know
I said that. Didn't I say that in the podcast before? I was like, your issues are a lot more obvious than mine.
Yeah, but I'm also a lot more able to explain my issues, and I can break it down like, you know where that stems from. Yeah. You know, your issues.
Okay, we don't have
to go
because
there. you be trying to act like you don't have any issues, and you have a lot of issues.
I don't act like I don't have issues. I know I have issues. But by the issue is that I don't acknowledge my issues that I have. Yeah,
but the saying is that, when you say we know you have your issues a lot more obvious. Get out of here.
You're the one that just said they're blaring.
Hey, let me tell you something. Over Thanksgiving break, over Christmas break, all them issues came out. They came up to the surface, and I was looking around like, there it all is.
We went away with my family for Christmas. Yep. It was an experience. It was a good experience, but it was kind of like, whoa.
Good experience. It's like, ooh, this
it was very revealing.
Not cute right here. So anyway.
Yes, let's get back to the topic at hand. Anyway. But I feel like the same thing about the frivolousness, because I'm not going to lie. The more that I watch our children, I'm like, Anaya needs a sister. But I also feel like I needed a sister growing up. I'm sure my parents don't necessarily feel like they should have had more children. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like it would be nice, because I'm seeing how the boys are toward Uzi, and I'm seeing how they are towards Anaya. And it does seem like there's this whole bro club thing happening. And I hope that Uzi doesn't feed into it, but he's already in love with Raya.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and so I'm not thinking, I definitely am more open to another child in the
far future.
I don't know when, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
But how that child comes to be, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's true.
I'm just not. Yeah, but I think she was. I had a hard time with you in that season when you wanted, and I was like, listen, I'm getting a vasectomy. You're like, wait, but I haven't grieved. And what about? Very much so. That was how you sounded. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was like, okay. But what about me? And so I think sometimes men can get into this it's like they want men to acknowledge their feelings unless it's inconvenient.
Who's they? Who are you talking about?
Other people.
Okay.
Not men. Like you want us to acknowledge our feelings unless it's creeping into your space sometimes. Like if I was to talk to someone about an issue I have with another person, but if I was to talk to that person about the issue I have with them, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, that's what I had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, why don't you talk to me about this and this and this? I don't feel comfortable. But you got the nerve to tell me about that? And oh my gosh. Well, then I'm not saying nothing. And so, I do. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that. But we have to get better at protecting our minds and not reading negative comments. That's why I had to back up.
No, I wasn't hurt. I mean, I guess I was offended by being called very selfish. Because I feel like all in all, I think it was a good thing. I feel like if your heart isn't really settled on not having any more children, you should not be having a vasectomy. And I know vasectomies are reversible or whatever, but
I disagree.
I just don't think that it's the right space.
I think we should have done it. I think we should have got it over with. Because part of me having that spillover after seeing those photos had a lot to do with the fact that I probably was going to have another opportunity to do this, and I would either I would have to love it. I would want to love it, but I might hate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like this, like, what? No. I was angry. I was like jealous and angry by looking at a picture. You know what I'm saying? And so I couldn't be happy, even though we just had a kid. I was like, oh no, this ain't right. This ain't right. And I wept. And so whatever, man. I be crying, man. It's whack, man. I hate growing up, man. I mean, like, when you were a kid, you cried because you hurt your knee, or you got a spanking, or you got in trouble. You didn't cry because the inside hurt. My insides are just falling all apart, man.
Babe, how married are you?
I'm so married that I tried to kiss you the other day, man, on the podcast, and you didn't give me a kiss, and I didn't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh, that was cold.
Honestly, I don't think I even realized you were trying to kiss me.
Whatever, man.
It was a subconscious, like, I was too tired type situation, which I just really got whiff of tired. Did you see that?
I don't know what you're talking about. But you better wake up.
I'm here.
All right. How married are you?
I'm so married that I sent K-How to your office with your lunch today because you left it on the stairs. You're probably putting your shoes on. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah.
That was very thoughtful.
Thanks. And that's just how married we are. Wait. Guys, I haven't gotten anybody sending us in messages about how married you are. Don't forget, we don't have words of affirmation right now. Oh, shoot. We got to go.
Yeah, he's sitting up.
Yeah,
and Yvette started a podcast called Yvette Unplugged. And make sure you guys go check out Yvette's solo podcast, Solo Dolo, right?
Solo Nolo?
Dolo.
Dolo.
Bye, y'all.
Okay, bye.
And that's just how married we are. Bye.